This course is your first step towards becoming a web developer. So, let me give you a simple roadmap to know where you are and where you should go to next. Every website has two parts, a front end and back end. A front end is the part that you see in your browser and interact with all the visual aspects. The back end is the part that power the front end, and it's behind the scene and is mainly about storing data in database and providing it to the front end. So, web development jobs fall into three main categories: front-end development, back-end development, and full-stack development, which involves both front-end and back-end development. A front-end developer uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build front-ends. Back-end developers have different sets of tools available to them, which is outside the scope of this course. So, let's talk about HTML. HTML stands for Hyper-text-markup-language. Basically, we use HTML to define structure of our web page. CSS stands for Cascading-Style-Sheets, and it's used for styling web page and making them beautiful. JavaScript is used for adding functionality to web page. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you are in a modern interactive museum. The building structure, which is HTML, is well planned, with clearly defined sections and pathways. The interior design CSS creates a visually stunning experience with vibrant colors, unique wall textures, and engaging exhibits. The functionality JavaScript comes into play as you interact with exhibits. Perhaps touchscreens provide additional information, interactive displays response to your actions, and the lighting adjusts to enhance the experience. Here is a real example. Let's say we want to build a website like YouTube. For each video, we want to have a layout like this. So, first we use HTML to define the structure of this layout. What are the building blocks of here? A text, a button, and a video. We define first where text comes, where button comes, and where video comes. It's all of work HTML can do to our web page. Then we use CSS to give visual effects. For example, with CSS we can make the font bold. We make image round. We can add some padding around here. We can change the color of this button and define their look when we hover over them. So, CSS is all about aesthetic visual aspects, like clicks and scroll this. This is where JavaScript comes in. With JavaScript, we can add functionality or behavior to our web pages. So, JavaScript is our programming, while HTML and CSS are not, meaning we cannot use them to tell computers what to do. We use them to define our building blocks of our web pages. Every web page you have seen on our internet is built with these three languages, so the better you learn and understand these languages and their features. So, your front-end development journey starts with HTML and CSS. I would say if you spend 3 to 5 hours every day studying and coding, you should be able to have a reasonable understanding of these two languages in a month or a month and a half. Once you learn these languages, then you need to learn JavaScript. I have a separate series for learning JavaScript, so after finishing this series, you may want to enroll in this series. I would say learning JavaScript would probably take another 6 weeks of your time. You have a reasonable understanding of it, and you learn more as you work on different projects. So the first 3 months is all about the fundamentals. Now, building websites often include a bunch of repetitive tasks. This is where front-end frameworks and libraries come. In framework or libraries comes with a lot of code and we can reuse in our websites, so they help us get the job done faster. That's why a lot of companies these days use of these popular like frameworks like React, Angular or Vue.js. Now technically React is not a framework, it's a library. Now you don't need to learn all of these to get started. Different companies use different tools for different projects. So as you move from one project to another, you may want to learn about the other tools. If you are starting out, just focus on React because it is the most popular tool in this space. Once you learn React, you can always learn the other tools if needed. For React, you would probably need 1 to 2 months. We use version control system to keep track of our project history. There are many version control systems out there, but most of the people use Git. For Git, you will need 2 weeks.